Hi, Miss. Thank you for agreeing to this interview. I'd like to ask you some questions about how you teach grammar in the ESL high school classroom. First of all, I'd like to ask you some questions about your teaching methods for grammar instruction. So, how do you usually teach grammar to students of different levels, and what different teaching structures would you use?
Hi, Yating. Long time no see. I miss you so much. Concerning the question you have asked, my answer is as follows. I will answer your question from some aspects. First of all, for the beginner learners, I will focus on contextual input by using real objects, pictures, or body language to help them understand the grammar. In addition, pair with short sentence drills, and I will try to make them understand, avoid abstract rule explanations. And then I will use some vivid description and humorous languages to help them understand and arouse their interest in learning grammar. For some for other learners who have basic grammatical knowledge, I will apply the inductive approach to guide rule discovery. For example, I will present a set of tense examples for students to help them summarize verb challenges by themselves. And then I will reinforce with substitution exercises. And then for the advanced learners, I will use output-driven tasks, integrating grammar into authentic contexts like debates or writing. I will also combine with error analysis to enhance their accuracy. Okay, thank you for asking. This is my answer to the first question.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So the next question, how do you teach grammar to students with different levels of proficiency in the same class?
The students I have taught have basic grammatical knowledge, so I think it will be a little easier for me to teach them. When teaching relative clauses, I will assign basic groups to complete some exercises according to their English level, such as describing pictures using clauses and advanced groups to analyze complex clauses in news articles. And I will also give them some sentences with certain mistakes to ask some students to correct them. And then I will also make a sentence with advanced expression. Expression, and then I will ask certain students to let them pick them out. Okay, thank you for asking. That's my answer.
Okay, thanks. So what methods do you usually use when teaching more complex grammar? For example, teaching tenses.
Mm, About teaching tenses, I will usually use a timeline use a number line to mark past, present, and future, and paired with verb form charts, such as do, did, or have done, to help students grasp the logic, such as past perfect tense as before a past event. Or I will conclude just in 5 words in Chinese, 过去的过去. And I will also link tenses through a continuous narrative about buying a book in a shop. If you use the simple past tense, you can make a sentence, yesterday I bought a book. And if you want to use the simple present tense, you can make such a sentence as, today I have finished reading. And if you want to use the simple future tense, you can make a sentence such as, tomorrow I will return it. And I will ask the student to retell the whole story using different tenses. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Next, I'd like to ask about the challenges you encounter in teaching grammar. On the first one, what are the most common grammar points that students get wrong in teaching? And how do you help them overcome this difficulty?
Okay, thank you for asking. The common errors students will make is subject-verb agreement, such as he plays soccer. And tense consistency, such as I eat breakfast and went out. They mix the different tenses in one sentence. These are the errors, and how to help them solve the problems. I will use error categorization charts to highlight the patterns, such as listing third-person singular as mistakes, and circle the subject, and then circle the verbs to help them avoid making such mistakes. And the other grammar errors or mistakes they make is because the students I have taught are senior high students. They need to take part in the college entrance examination. In the paper they need to accomplish the grammar clause. The most frequent grammar error they make are about verbs. Many people can't judge the verb is the verb is predict verb or non-finite verb. So in order to help them to judge, I tell them to circle all the verbs in the sentence, and then combine the sentence structure to help them to confirm which verb should be used as non-finite verb or predict verb. And in order to guarantee their their study, I will give them tailored exercises. Okay, thank you for asking.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Do you think students are more likely to expose speaking problems in writing or in oral expression? And what methods do you use to teach in each of these two outputs?
According to the facts, according to the reality, they just need to take part in the written examination instead of oral or spoken examination. So I think they will be more likely to make mistakes in writing. But in daily teaching, I found that most of or some of the students even can't spell or pronounce the words correctly. So if they need to take part in the spoken examination, I think they will also make some mistakes. So concerning writing errors, I think that it is it is a little difficult for Chinese students to write the correct English sentences because in Chinese we don't need to care too much about the tense and the subject verb agreement, etc. So for some of the students I taught, how do they write English articles or write English sentences? They just translate the meaning one word by one word instead of use certain sentence structures, etc. So I think in order to solve such problems, I think it's a good way for Chinese students to recite many beautiful English essays and try to use them in their daily writing. Okay, thank you for asking.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Miss. Finally, I'd like to know more about your personal views on grammar instruction. So the first question, what do you think are the most common misconceptions students have about grammar in teaching English as a second language?
Please allow me to think about the question for a while.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, I think the students I taught don't pay enough attention to grammar learning, or they just think that as long as they know as many as or they just they think that as long as they can know or recite a lot of words, they can learn English well. And they only pay attention to the grammar just in the exercise in the grammar close exercise. In addition, the roles or the highlights the teacher emphasize can't arouse the students' attention, or they can only emphasize or pay attention to the highlights, the key points, or the difficult points, and just in class when they needed to face the questions or the problems, they will ignore them. And in addition, the students also blindly copy the rules without applying them flexibly in their writing. Okay. I think it is a little difficult for me to answer the question very well. Okay, thank you for asking.
Okay, thank you, Miss. So the last question, what role do you think knowledge of grammar plays in learning English in high school?
I think not only at senior high, but also at junior high or at primary school. I think grammar is very significant in English learning. When I reflect the students I have taught, the students who are good at grammar or have enough grammatical knowledge, usually tend to have better academic performance in English studying. And they just need to recite certain quantity of words, and they will have a higher score in English examination. So, but I think most of the students, when they want to enhance the grammatical knowledge, they just go to the bookstore and buy a grammar book and read the rules and take some exercises, and then they think that they will handle certain grammar knowledge. I think that's not enough. If they want to have a good command of such as the simple past tense, they not only need to need the definition and need its, and they not only need to understand its definition, its roles, its time adverbial. They also need to practice as much as possible in order to enhance relevant knowledge. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Thank you very much for your time and for sharing your teaching experience. Your answers are very helpful for understanding how to teach grammar effectively in ESL classrooms. Thank you, Miss.
It's my pleasure. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.